Hello, it's Dylan Miller on Daily Dose of Dylan. I am on Google Podcasts and Spotify. Alright, so I do realize that I have not been I didn't post last week except for Monday. The reason for that is I'm trying to keep up with school and this at the same time. It's not easy to do. But I'm going to keep trying to do this every weekday. It's tough, but here we go. So I'm going to be covering NFL and NBA right now. I'm going to get some MLB in there, finally, for those MLB fans. I do actually do MLB. So any NFL, NBA, MLB fans out there, you should definitely be listening to me. So, one of the bigger things I'll be covering in this is, alright, so I'm gonna, I'm gonna be talking about Philip Rivers' retirement in a couple of, minutes, and then also, I'll be covering, for the last, topic, I'll be covering Watson, not Watson, who needs a QB in the NFL draft. Alright, so that was a terrible intro on my part, but you had to know why I'm not posting. So, Watson is on the move. I think it's official now. He doesn't want to be in Houston anymore. He wants to alright. Whether they hire Bieniemy or not, he's not going there. And his number one option is the Jets, and I think this is a win-win for both teams for the trade. Because I would trade Darnold and maybe 2 or 3 first-round picks that they got from the Jamal Adams trade. And this is a win-win. I mean, the Jets get a dominant quarterback because, I mean, Salah, I think he's going to do a good job there. But I don't think he's just... I just don't see him elevating Darnold and making him better than he already was and than he already has looked. And Darnold has already regressed under Adam Gase and Todd Bowles. They tried an offensive coach with him. They tried a defensive coach with him. Bowles is a great defensive coordinator. He's done a great job and I think he's with the Bucs now. He's done a great job with the Bucs as defensive coordinator, but he couldn't elevate Darnold. So just because Salah did a great job in San Francisco as a defensive coordinator, he's not going to elevate Darnold. So I think Watson is a great quarterback. And by the way, the 2 people Watson wanted to be the Texans head coach is Salah and Bieniemy. Also, Bieniemy, I think, will do a great job developing Sam Darnold. We saw how he developed Mahomes. And Darnold is not as... he's not as talented as Mahomes, but Bieniemy can elevate him, I think. And I think that's just a great trade for both sides. So, the Seahawks are becoming a really odd franchise here. They are interviewing Adam Gase for the offensive coordinator job. I don't think they've really done their research here. If you did your research, people who have left Adam Gase have done significantly better once they leave Adam Gase. Look at Tannehill, top summer quarterback. Kenyon Drake, 18 touchdowns in 23 games. Devontae Parker, 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns the first year without Adam Gase. So, it's just not a good move on their part. Like, the Jets were last in almost every category offensively with Adam Gase. The Seahawks are becoming a really odd franchise right now. It's just... I just don't trust them. Alright, so we're gonna move on to the news here. The recent news. So, alright, here we go. Alright, so Bruce Arians takes a jab at the Pats, saying, I let Tom Brady coach, I'm having to just sit back. Okay, I think he's getting a little too confident in himself right here. The Pats developed Brady. So I think a lot of what Brady is doing right now in Tampa Bay comes from what he learned in New England. So I wouldn't be taking a jab at them. And as for the game this week, I'm thinking Green Bay wins. But I love that we got Brady Rodgers. I can't wait for that. So, reportedly, the Browns are committed to Baker Mayfield. It's a head coach quarterback league. Stefanski and Mayfield, that's great. And Mayfield showed up in the 3 or 4 games he had to. I think he'll thrive for the next couple years under Stefanski. And I think the Browns are in the best position in the AFC North. 3 teams made the playoffs in the AFC North. Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. But I think the Browns are in the best position. The Bengals still have to develop a bit. They still have to learn some stuff and get some pieces. The Ravens are the only team that I can see topping the Browns. They can definitely top them. But the Steelers are in a mess right now. I don't know what the Steelers are doing. I heard they signed Dwayne Haskins. I don't know what they're doing down there. So, I think the Browns have the best next couple of years in the AFC North. And I think it's great that they're committing to Mayfield. I think he's a top 10 quarterback right now. Although, yeah, he's top 10. He's top 10. I think he goes Stafford 10, Mayfield 9, Prescott 8, Tannehill 7, Lamar 6, Wilson 5, Watson 4, Allen 3, Mahomes 2, Rodgers 1, as of now. Well, actually, Rodgers 2, Mahomes 1. I mean, Rodgers had him beat statistically this year, but and he is more valuable, but I just don't know if overall right now Rodgers is better than Mahomes. But anyway, Fields is going to the NFL draft. He looks good to me. He runs, he throws, he showed up against Clemson. He just needs a good coach in the league. It all depends if the Jets get Watson or not. Or if they trade the second pick. I mean, there's a lot to do. I think Watson would be a great addition to the Jets, though. And I think Fields would be a great addition to any other team. Not the Dolphins yet. I mean, moving off Tua after 1 year is kind of insane. So, I just think, I think, here's what I think happens. I think Jags take Lawrence at 1. I think that's no-brainer right now. I think at 2, the Jets trade their number 2 pick to the Texans. Texans take Darnold, and then they take another offensive lineman. I think they take Penei Sewell. And then number 3, Dolphins take someone short of offensive lineman. And we'll see where Fields drops to. Alright. So, some people are so dumb. Sometimes I feel like I'm smarter than a lot of the adults that are in sports. The Mets fire their GM. He sent 63 revolting texts to a woman. What the hell are you doing? She's not texting you back. Why are you... Honestly, if I send someone 1 or 2 texts and they don't send me anything back, I'm insecure enough to think I'm not going to text that person ever again. I mean, I text someone 1 or 2 times, no response. I'm like, okay, I'm out. Send 63 texts. Are you serious? I hope no one on the Yankees does that. Alright, so Josh McDaniels is a prime candidate for the Eagles job. Why did I write this down? I'm pretty sure didn't the Eagles hire someone? Yeah, they're hiring Nick Sirianni as head coach. But can I just say, I feel like this is a good take, kind of. Also, I think Belichick's a grudge holder, obviously, because there are a lot of grudge holders in the league, and Belichick, he just seems like a classic one. The Pats have lost Joe Judge and Brian Flores in this past year, and they've excelled. And this makes Belichick look stupid. He couldn't draft wideouts, he couldn't figure out Brady, and he's lost 2 assistants. This hasn't entirely ruined his legacy yet, but it's hurting right now. But they did have opt-outs this year. I don't know how well they would have done with Brady with these opt-outs. I'm sure they would have done better. I mean, because Brady's better than Cam Newton. But it hasn't ruined his legacy entirely yet, but we'll see what happens next year. But I was thinking, what if he retires? That would literally leave Robert Kraft with a logo. No quarterback, no receivers, hardly an offensive line, hardly any defense. Now they have no playmaker, and they don't have a top GM. And honestly, right now they are without a playmaker and a quarterback, and that's because Robert Kraft talked him out of keeping Jimmy G. If he kept Jimmy G, yes, Jimmy G has injury problems, but Jimmy G could have at least held the fort down a bit. I don't know. So, what if he retires and holds that? What if he holds the grudge and retires? I think that would be interesting, but that's why they didn't hire Josh McDaniels. He's got saved a bit. So Watson's requesting a trade. Officially, it's done. I know giving up first round picks sounds scary, but it isn't. Trust me, it's not. Look at AD to the Lakers. Everyone was like, oh, the Pelicans won that deal so well. They got Ingram, Lonzo, Zion. They got Zion coming as well. But the Lakers are the ones who won the championship, and the Lakers are the ones who are at top of the league right now. Khalil Mack to the Bears. They made the playoffs. In 2 of the last 3 years with Khalil Mack, they made it to playoffs. The Jets get a star. Texans get picks and the Texans will either trade those picks for another player or use them. And honestly, it looks like they might get Matt Stafford if they give up Watson. Give up Watson to the Jets, and then go ahead, use the Jets picks, and trade for Stafford. It's a win-win. I think him to the Jets is a win-win there. It's not that scary to give up first-round picks. Just an opinion there. I do see why it sounds here. I mean, it does seem like it's giving up your future, but I mean, it's not. You're not giving up your future by that. As long as you get a young star, don't trade for an Aaron Rodgers right now. Don't use your first round picks to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Because he's 37. You're literally giving up your future.